Good afternoon. The information space is filled with fake information produced by the Russian Federation. There is a simple explanation for this. Given the lack of significant achievements in the field of hostilities, and struggle begins in the brain, ears and eyes of the audience, both inside Russia and the outer perimeter. Today we see a series of information and psychological operations aimed at discrediting Ukraine, as well as spreading false information about the actions of the Russian Federation. In recent days, information has appeared that supposedly Ukraine planned special operations, an attack and a war against the territories of the LNR and DNR occupied at that time. This fake information is being spread with reference to the leaders of these self-proclaimed territories. In confirmation of these fakes, there is an evidence that during the fashion show of the Balenciaga brand, models appeared in the clothes of yellow and blue colors, and this allegedly indicates that these collections were prepared for more than one day, and this shows some coordination between Ukrainian army and famous designers. By the way, the designer of this fashion house is a famous Georgian who, as a sign of solidarity, decided to show the last model in blue and yellow colors. But not only such fakes, which are absolutely ridiculous on the one hand and absurd on the other hand, fill the media space. For example, absolutely fake information about the laboratories of the US Department of Defense on the territory of Ukraine and the development of some special strains. In this regard, the Minister of Health of Ukraine issued a refutation of the information spread in Russian propaganda media about an emergency cleansing of military biological programs traces, which are funded by the US Department of Defense, and also a refutation that the destruction of especially dangerous pathogens took place in Poltava and Kharkiv centers for disease controls and prevention. The Minister of Health of Ukraine emphasizes that there are no American laboratories on the territory of Ukraine. All laboratory capacities that exist on the territory of Ukraine fulfill the only common goal: the identification of pathogens and infectious diseases that are significant epidemic potential and international significance. The Minister of Health draws attention to the fact that in the documents published by the propagandists, there is not a single dangerous strain about which the media of aggressor states so actively discussed. This fake has been spread for more than a year, and it appeared in media space 3-4 years ago. To that time, political outsiders, and now deputies from the pro-Russian party, Viktor Medvedchuk and Rinat Kuzmin. This fake was spread on TV channels controlled by Putin. Other fake information concerns the alleged intentions of the armed forces of Ukraine to hold Ukrainian workers as hostages in the enterprises of the city of Mariupol in order to later blow it up with the help of Ukrainian nationalists. Well, this is not true. It is a fake. Meantime, it is time for the Russians themselves to switch on critical thinking and pay attention to the way in which they are being deceived by their own government. The well-known story about the flight attendants painted on a green background with whom their president communicated. More and more evidences appear in the media that this is completely staged story. The participants of this fake meeting took part in other meetings, but in different status. Today they are Aeroflot flight attendants, before they were fisherwomen or ice cream sellers. Realizing that the Russian Federation has big losses on the battlefield, they are trying to manipulate the minds of Russians in a different way. Seeing the number of destroyed vehicles with the Z logo, they are trying to mirror this story and create a positive image of this Z brand. In particular, car rallies in support of the Russian occupation campaign. According to Ukrainian Special Service of the SBU, the Z logo, which Russians use as one of the recognizable signs of aggression against Ukraine, actually has its roots in the Nazi power. Special premises on the territory of Nazi concentration camps had such logo. Premises for the extermination of Jews. This is nothing surprising that such a logo is now used in relation to Ukrainians by the aggressor state. Friends, remain calm, believe in the armed forces of Ukraine. Be sure to turn on critical thinking, check the information, do not fall for fakes and propaganda. Everything will be Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine.
І читаємо виключно правдиві українські засоби масової інформації.